Hey, as a parent, there's nothing worse than watching your kiddo struggle, especially when you thought you were doing something that would help them, right? You've maybe started a detox protocol, or you read the research and you made the investment and you were hopeful, maybe even relieved, and then all of a sudden your child started spiraling, right? There was maybe more meltdowns, they came back, tics or stimming intensified, their sleep fell apart, anxiety, digestive flare-ups, even seizures started showing up even again, right? If you're walking through this, I want to let you know one thing, that you didn't fail, first of all, and you're not alone. In fact, this kind of regression is more common than most providers will let on to begin with. At Renegade Chiropractic, we see families across Utah. They come after detoxes that have been made things worse. They're exhausted, they're confused, sometimes they're even scared, but also deep down, they know that something important was missed, right? So let's talk about what that is. Let's talk about why regression happens during detox and how to tell the difference between a safe response and a sign of overload, and what the foundational first step should be. It should really always be to make detox more effective and more gentle. So I want to go into some statistics real quick. A study recently showed, it looked at 59 toxic chemicals and tested whether those were already present in babies at birth, and specifically in their umbilical cord blood. And the result was this: 80% of those toxins were already inside the baby before their baby took their first breath. So our kids are already coming into this world carrying a really heavy toxic load to begin with, right? So then you stack on top of all that heavy metals, medications and vaccines, heavy food dyes and preservatives, household cleaners, synthetic fragrances, detergents, all that stuff, then pesticides that are in the yards and the food supply. And it's really no wonder that so many parents are turning to detox protocols. But the part that gets overlooked is this: a detox is important, but only if the body is ready for that detox, right? So there are two types of detox regressions. These two types of detox regressions are very different, and there are different reasons as to why the detox can trigger flare-ups. So the first one is a healing crisis, and this happens when stored toxins are mobilized and temporarily they re-enter the bloodstream before being eliminated. And it's common to see a few days of increased symptoms like irritability or skin issues, maybe even some sleep disruption, as the body clears out all that junk. And this is uncomfortable for sure, but it's also productive. The second type is neurologically unsafe detoxing, and this is one that we need to worry about when it happens, because a child's nervous system isn't stable enough to handle the detox, so their neural pathways are blocked or overwhelmed, their system is stuck actually in a fight or flight mode, and when you throw detox into that whole scenario, then you get a perfect storm of regression. It's not just symptoms, setbacks as well, because the body just wasn't ready for that detox. So then the question then becomes, why can't kids detox safely? So let's zoom out for a second. Most kids who react poorly to detox, they have a history that follows a pattern that we call the perfect storm. And this perfect storm looks like this. First, there's maybe pregnancy stress, infertility, anxiety, financial pressure, relationship strain. All of it can activate the mom's nervous system in utero, affecting baby's neural development. And that happens before birth ever happens. Then there's birth trauma, forceps, vacuum, induction, C-sections, faster, long labor. These can damage the brainstem and upper cervical region of the spine, especially around the vagus nerve. The third thing is early medications and toxins, antibiotics, formula vaccines, teething meds, Tylenol. It all adds up fast and stresses a system that's already really vulnerable, right? These events, they build what we call a subluxation, or a disruption in the nervous system's ability to self-regulate and coordinate healing. And here's the kicker, the crazy thing, right? Subluxation is often the missing link, even in functional and holistic care. They work on gut health, nutrition, detox pathways, but if the brain-body connection is scrambled from birth, the body can't heal or use those tools correctly. So let's keep it really simple. Your child's liver, their kidneys, their gut, and lymph system are in charge of detox, but those organs don't operate on their own. They're powered and directed by the nervous system very specifically. And specifically the parasympathetic branch, what we call the rest, control, digest, and heal side of the nervous system. So when a child is stuck in a sympathetic overdrive or fight or flight overdrive, they can't eliminate the toxins, they can't break down food, they can't sleep, self-regulate, or rebuild. And it's like trying to take a road trip with the emergency brake on. You go a little way, but then the brakes are going to overheat, they're going to burn out, or where something really essential along the way is going to get destroyed, right? And we see this all the time in our office. So it's really imperative that we have the right order of healing in order to help kiddos when they do a detox. At Renegade, we believe in stacking things in the right sequence and order. So what it looks like is this. First, neurologically focused chiropractic care. We use insight scans and gentle adjustments to release the subluxations and restore vagus nerve function so the nervous system can shift out of that fight or flight mode into that rest and digest and heal mode. Then the second step would be to integrate any movement therapies that they've been working through. This helps the brain start to balance out. It starts to get the right vestibular input into their body so that they can just have their body be aware of where they're at in space and function in the environment without that nervous system stress. Then you can introduce the next step. And that next step is nutrition, right? Gut work and detox. Once the brain and the body are working together, the body is finally ready to process the toxins instead of just react to them once they get released into the bloodstream. And that's the difference between surviving detox and actually healing through that detox or with that detox. So if detox has caused your child to regress, just know this: we know you're not crazy, and your child isn't broken. You might just be missing the most foundational step of all. And that's what we're here for, is to help you rebuild from the inside out, starting with that nervous system. So you can visit our website to book a consult, or you can send us a DM, or we'll tag the link in our description. Our team's here to help you through this whole process, to have clarity and confidence that your child has an amazing ability to heal. Sometimes it just takes the right support in order to unlock that true healing potential. We're here for you. Like I said, shoot us a message, comment below that says, hey, we want help with this. We're here for you. Have a great rest of your day.